Porto 1, Liverpool 5. This is your player ratings on the Shankly session, the Liverpool podcast we bring you each and every week. Let's kick it off. What a fantastic night of football for Liverpool. So different to the Brentford game, so positive in their attacking all-round play. Unbelievable. Porto absolutely melted under the pressure. Especially talking about Cortes Jones. What a performance that man put in. Unbelievable. Always forward thinking, always pushing forward, positive in his play. Picked up a couple of assists, had a hand, I think, in at least four of the goals. Unbelievable how this man is maturing. Klopp with a headache now in terms of thinking about taking the boy out of the team at any stage. He's really laid down a marker. Salah, of course, sublime. Jordan Henderson, 400 appearances. What a way to mark it, especially with the passing of Roger Hunt that we learned of earlier in the day, you know what I mean? So this meant a big deal to these players. Roger Hunt, an absolute fabulous player for the club, and we'll be doing a remembrance piece on him later in the week. Myself and Dino will get on board. But if there was ever a situation where you wanted to wash that Brentford result away and get it out of your system to prepare for the Man City game, big game, Super Sunday at the weekend, what a way these boys went about their work. Let's get into these player ratings. Let's start it off. Alisson Becker, 7. Hadn't got a whole lot to do. Very, very composed and comfortable. The rare occasion he was called upon, not a bother to him. Back to his absolute best at times. Couldn't do a whole lot for the goal. Player Taremi got goal side. Perfect header. Cavani-esque. So there's not a whole lot he could have done about that. But in terms of his overall play, an easy night for Alisson. Milner at the back. Started off a little bit nervous against Diaz, has to be said. Wasn't too sure, but boy, God, did he grow into the game. Unbelievable, just always pushing forward, bundles of energy, Kind of an interesting dynamic there now in terms of coming in for Trent, who's out with that groin injury. Hopefully be back at the weekend. But I think with Milner in that position, he gives you a bit of the forward stuff. Obviously, his final ball ain't quite up to what Trent's is, but in terms of his defensive capabilities and stuff like that, he's an absolute nightmare to play against. After about 5 or 10 minutes, the boy Diaz got no more joy out of him. He absolutely just tortured him, So 7 for Jimmy. Super performance overall. No less than what we'd expect from James Milner. Constant professional, absolute freak when it comes to fitness and stuff like that. Joel Matip is 7. Really encouraged by Joel this season. Staying injury free, touch wood. Sauntering in the midfield at times and stuff like that. And there was one run, I think, where the ball broke to them and he chased the ball down right to their 18-yard line. And I just thought it was amazing to see. Like, his endeavour is unbelievable. His calmness, we talk about Virgil van Dijk being calm. Joel Matip is just as calm, if not more calm. There was one where there was 2 lads breaking through and he picked up the ball and he just turned and walked through the 2 of them. The 2 boys were just left standing there. So absolutely outstanding from Joel. Picks up a 7. Super performance. Virgil van Dijk a 7. Pretty much an easy day at the office. What I would say is at times he had that no nonsense about him, you know what I mean? I think he was hurting from the Brentford game and he wanted to lay down a marker. At times Porto in the second half tested him a little bit, but I mean, calm as anything really, a big Verge, you know what I mean? Just takes control of a game, picks up the ball. There was one ball that came through, I think he was chasing it down and he just flicks it back past the attacker and just strolls and walks off with the ball and lays it off. If there was ever an advertisement for how to play football as a defender, Virgil van Dijk's that man. He's the absolute cream of the crop. Andy Robinson, an 8. Big performance from Andy. Needed it after the Brentford result. He wasn't great against Brentford, but absolutely fabulous tonight in both directions, both his attacking and his defensive duties. Absolutely brilliant. Fantastic engine, and that pass to Jones that initiated the opener was a fantastic pass. Robbo gradually getting back to his best now, which is exactly what we need. But an absolute workhorse and a Trojan out there as well. Picks up an 8. Fabinho, what can we say about Fabinho? Unbelievable. Gets an 8, mopped up everything. No one got any joy out of him in the midfield. Dominated the midfield after Otavio went off. And I mean, we have to take that into account with Porto as well. They were missing their 2 centre halves. Tavio went off injured as well, you know what I mean? So they did have their issues. Pepe was pulled before the starting lineup was released. Had passed the fitness test, but obviously something happened there and he just didn't feel right, you know what I mean? So I think that the return leg at Anfield might present a different proposition when both those guys are back in central defence, but there was levels. I mean, we were above these guys all over the pitch, and you know, even Fabinho, he had a part in that second goal. He was unbelievable all night. So give him an 8. Jordan Henderson, a 7. 400 appearances for Liverpool. What a boy Jordan Henderson is, our absolute captain. You know, unlucky with the free kick. Nice little work free kick there. Very unlucky not to curl it right into the far corner. But this is a boy who's hungry for goals. He looks like a different player this season, wants to get forward, playing those passages of triangles with Milner and Salah and stuff like that, and always wanting to be involved. Absolute stellar performance from Jordan, rating of a 7. Cortes Jones, absolutely head and shoulders man of the match. I think it could be a flick between him and Salah, really, but I think I'll give it to the boy Curtis, because I thought in the Brentford game, I thought after scoring such a fabulous goal, I thought he was hard done by to get subbed off straight away. Maybe they could have given him another 5 or 10 minutes. He was pumped up. But this boy loves playing for Liverpool. Liverpool lad through and through. Was absolutely fantastic. Had a hand, I think, in 4 of the goals. Always, what I like about Curtis is he's always forward thinking. Like, you never see him play like a negative pass or too many side passes. Picks up the ball, turns, wants to run at people. Absolutely fantastic and exactly what we want. No shying away from taking lads on and always willing to pull the trigger. And I thought that goal, that shot that he took, I thought that was going to sail into the far corner, and I couldn't have been more happy for the boy if he had only got that goal, you know. But stellar performance, absolute 9, and really now laying down a marker for that midfield position. Mo Salah, seems like every week we talk about Mo Salah. Give him an 8, could have given him a 9, could have given him a 20. Absolutely brilliant. You know, scored 2, 100% shot accuracy. What more can we say about the man? He's worth his weight in gold. FSG, break out the checkbook, get the contract sorted. He's unplaceable. He's irreplaceable, you know what I mean? And he's unplayable at times. And it's not only his offensive play, but if you look last night as well, he was coming back all the time supporting Milner. And he was getting involved in tackles back there as well, and then breaking with the ball. His all-round game is unbelievable. And I'm looking at his work rate now. His work rate seems to have upped a lot in terms of when we need him to help out defensively as well as his offensive work. He also has a 9 now for picking out lads as well and playing that pass, not necessarily just constantly pulling the trigger. At times he can frustrate us as Liverpool fans because we want him to be more selfish because we know he has that killer final shot, you know. But absolutely brilliant from Mo Salah. Another 2 goals. I think that's now 8 goals for the season. It's unbelievable. What more can we say about him? Diogo Jota, returning to his country, of course. Gave him a 7. Had 1 shot blocked and a rebound turned over in the first half before scoring a couple of late chances. But I don't know what Diogo. We're still not seeing the Diogo Jota. I still think there's maybe 20% more he can give us, you know what I mean? Such a fabulous talent and just kind of like, you know, he has that sort of grittiness to his play that maybe the other 2 boys don't necessarily have. Kind of a nastiness to his approach, where he just goes through lads, you know. But yeah, give him a 7. Sadio Mane, give him a 7. Got his goal. Got into some good positions at times. I think there's times when he picks up the ball, he could maybe look like Curtis, maybe a bit more forward thinking. I think at times the ball was taken off him out there as well when he was in really, really good positions, hung on to the ball a bit too long. But when he picks up the ball on the 18-yard line, Sadio, just let it fly, you know what I mean? It's the opportunities are there for you. You don't always have to be so intricate, you know what I mean? You're a fabulous footballer and you know, at times you have a great finish on you as well. So let it fly, have a go. You'll get more goals. You've seen it in previous games. When you do let fly, the ball hits the back of the net. Had a better second half, I think, sort of grew into the game a little bit more. But again, at times in really, really good positions, instead of, you know, taking that extra pass or hanging onto the ball too long, feed it off, make the move, you know. But yeah, 7. Let's get into the subs. Roberto Firmino for Salah on 66. First touch was outrageous, an absolute back heel. rolled one in from 35 yards. That ball from Cortes straight into him, and he just clipped it off the defender. I don't know what the goalkeeper was thinking out there. I mentioned it in the match reaction. I thought a fan had ran onto the pitch, but for me, it just gives the ball enough just to get over the line. And to see that, I actually thought the keeper was going to make it. He was so unlucky, but what a goal! The other goal he scored was just absolutely outrageous in terms of body position and stuff like that. Just scooped the ball out of nowhere and boom into the back of the net. Most people would have thought it was offside, but he was actually onside. So absolutely fabulous for Bobby, and great to see him back. And as Dean said in the reaction as well, great to see the three front men scoring, all scoring together. Like, you know what I mean? Like, two for Bobby, two for Mo, and a goal for Mane. So fabulous. I know we want the goals shared, but obviously Curtis had good chances. Jordan had good chances. So, like, not a bad thing. All good. Joe Gomez on from Milner in 66. Slotted in at right back, and at times was comfortable. But yeah, didn't have a whole lot to do. Again, another easy night for him, really. Taki came on for Minamino, came on for Mane on 66. Just nice to see these boys getting brought on and getting minutes and feeling part of that team. Not beyond the fringes of the squad going, no. If there's a bad injury, I might come on, or am I a Carabao Cup and an FA Cup player and that type of thing. He's starting to use players now. He's starting to rotate. And I know last night would have been much easier because we were 5-1 up or 4-1 up or whatever it was. But again, using the squad all the time, giving these guys the time that they need to bed in and feel a part of the team. Ox came on 73 for Jordan Henderson. Didn't have a lot to do. Put in one or two tackles, one or two passes. But again, coming on, still a real good option to come on. Again, another player who's always forward thinking in his play. Picks up his win bonus, obviously, so not a bad thing. And then Divock came on for Jota on 88. Not a whole lot to say about it, really. Had a corner or something like that, but didn't come in and, earned his extra few quid, basically, you know what I mean? Coming on at 88 in a 5-1 game, you know what I mean? It's really an appearance bonus more than anything. But again, bringing him on, feeling part of the team that he's there as an option. I thought they probably could have made that substitution a little bit earlier and given him maybe 10 minutes, but these are only fine lines and fine margins, really, But all in all, an absolutely brilliant result for Liverpool. 6 points from 6, top of the group. Next up away to Atletico. That's obviously going to be a tougher proposition. But for now, an absolute stellar performance. Things looking really good going into the weekend against City now. And hopefully we can give them a real good match at Anfield on Sunday afternoon. As always, head over to YouTube, Dynamo Podcast Network for all the videos, Spotify for all the audio versions of the show. If you want to contact the show, we're on Facebook and Instagram, The Upper Tier, and we're on Twitter at Sessions Shankly. And if you want to drop your comments into the video, let us know what your ratings were or what you thought about the performance. And we will talk to you again probably Thursday for a Man City preview. Till next time, appreciate it. Come on, you red men.